Guys, welcome back to Mock Draft Madness, day 20 of doing a mock draft every single day until the NFL draft. It is the first day of March Madness, another late night mock for you guys. Just finished up the games. It was a great day. Got to see Kentucky lose. Not that I pay attention to college basketball at all. I just like underdogs like everybody. So yeah, let's get right into it. As always, if you don't know ball, want to know ball, be sure to subscribe. Leave a like. Let me know in the comments your favorite and least favorite pick from this mock draft, along with trade suggestions. So I like doing these at night, but maybe not this late, because what I think happens throughout the day is different rumors and news comes out. And obviously, I was seeing a lot today that, as we know, like Caleb Williams is about a 90% lock to go number 1 to the Bears. You could even go 99%. I just think it's the medicals that are kind of holding out that last little bit. But Albert Breer said something interesting today. So I had always been leaning that the Commanders were probably going to go Drake May just because he's younger, and I think there's a higher ceiling for him. But Albert Breer said the Commanders are leaning Jaden Daniels. Now, whether that's a smokescreen or not, is really to be determined. But at the same time, like, Albert Breer is someone that I trust in terms of like information coming out. He seems like he doesn't really, put something out unless that's kind of what he's hearing. So I think I'm going to go Jaden Daniels here and mix it up to the Washington Commanders. So now I don't believe the Patriots are going to be trading out of this pick, as I've said before. And I know my thoughts have shifted probably from like a week ago, but that's kind of how this shit works when we're doing mock drafts every single day and it's leading up to the draft. Things change very quickly. It's all live season, everything like that. We're getting closer and closer to a month away, so we could put that as we know more or we know less. And I just feel like the Patriots in their position, they are desperate for a quarterback. While I think they would benefit from trading out and getting a ton of picks to rebuild their roster, that just doesn't really strike me as the way the Patriots operate. So I'm going to have them taking Drake May here. Now, at number 4 and 5 is where the draft gets interesting because we have Minnesota with 2 first-round picks, and we know that they want a quarterback. And I've had them trading up into the first right here. I've had them trading into 4 and 5 multiple times. So there was smoke that came out today. I don't know if it's smoke or an actual fire, but when there's smoke, there's fire sometimes. So the Giants are very interested in J.J. McCarthy. Now, if the Cardinals don't want to move all the way back to 11, which I think you should, and you can probably get a haul, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flop, or maybe, you know what? Maybe the reality is I feel like maybe you pick up like a second round pick just to move, from 4 to 6. I think that's realistic, right? Like if Arizona's going to be passing up 11, 23 and a first next year just because they want to get their guy here, I feel like a second is, reasonable, right? So I'm going to force that trade through. Now the Giants are on the clock, and they're going to take J.J. McCarthy. So number 5, we have the Los Angeles Chargers. Okay, interesting spot here. I've had them trading out in the past because I honestly think spots 4 and 5 before the Cardinals traded out are really the spots where you are going to see options to trade into the top 5. I think the top 3 aren't moving. So I really think they're going to go tackle, but let's screw it up a little bit here and let's go wide receiver. So the Chargers get Marvin Harrison Jr. now, and the Cardinals now have, 2 firsts still this year. They have 2 seconds, so they have 4 picks in the top 50, which is really, really good still. And so you have the Cardinals, and they do need that elite pass catcher, right? So I think Malik Neighbors will be a great addition for them, an explosive wide receiver for Kyler Murray. At number 7, guys, it's so hard not to pick Joe Alt here, and I do it all every fucking day, bro. But it's like, in what world do you not take Joe Alt. Like, realistically, unless you're high in Fuaga. So maybe that's what I'll do here, guys. I'm going to take Talisa Fuaga here. Now, with the Atlanta Falcons on the clock, they really need to solidify that defense, and they have gone offense over and over and over again. So the reality is, they're probably going to go defense here. And I think they're going to do that because, like I said, they've gone offense. I know I'm just talking. I'm trying to rationalize why they take Rome. I'm trying to rationalize why they take Rome here because I want to do something different, but I don't necessarily know. Like, their cornerback room isn't such a need that you take them at number 8. And I think it's kind of impossible to not take defense here, like a defensive edge, because that's what they've been targeting all this time. So I'm going to go Dallas Turner to the Atlanta Falcons. Now, this is interesting because the Bears have a serviceable left tackle in Braxton Jones, and I've always mocked receiver to them or defense. But if Joe Alt is sitting here at 9, I find it very hard to believe that Ryan Poles is going to pass up on him. So I am going to go Joe Alt, even though I think Rome would be a great option here. At number 10, we have the New York Jets on the clock. And with Rome Odunze sitting here, to pair him with Garrett Wilson just makes too much sense. So I'm going to go Rome Odunze to the New York Jets. At number 11, we have the Minnesota Vikings. Now, they don't need offense, really at all. They've added edge players, and I think if they are able to get a guy like a Byron Murphy, that would be awesome. I also think it is a reality that they could add a cornerback. With a blitz-heavy defense, though, I want to give him more of a pass rush, so give me Byron Murphy to the Minnesota Vikings. At number 12, we have the Denver Broncos. Now, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know if they plan to trade into the second, take a quarterback. I don't know if they plan to take him right here. I don't know if they plan to just kind of say fucking and punt the season and we'll try to get a QB next year. I really have zero clue what their plan is. And it kind of makes this pick really hard because you could pair Quinyon Mitchell with Pat Surtain and have some of the best, corners in the league. Or you could take Brock Bowers and be a slot weapon for you, and utilize him kind of, like I said, in that Michael Thomas role. And I think their offense, I don't know, guys. The Broncos are really in an interesting position because it's like their direction in terms of team building is so interesting because now they're eating a bunch of dead cap from Russ. And you have Jared Stidham. Like, what is your plan here? I really like the idea of Terry Arnold with Pat Surtain, Quinyon Mitchell with Pat Surtain. You could go Jerson Newton even, beef up the interior, even Jared Verse. But I think I'm going to go Brock Bowers to give Sean Payton a weapon to kind of plan around. Now, number 13, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. They need help in the cornerback room, and I am going to give them Quinyon Mitchell. 14, we have the New Orleans Saints. Jerson Newton is there to eat with Cam Jordan and Chase Young, as long as they're there for. 15, just on the Saints. Anything trenches, offensive or defensive trenches, that's where they have to go. 15, we have the Indianapolis Colts. Terran Arnold, you are an Indianapolis Colt. If he's on the clock when they're there, it shouldn't even be hesitation. At number 16, Fautanu to the Seahawks makes a lot of sense, but I am going to give them Jackson Powers-Johnson because I've gone Fautanu multiple times there. At number 17, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars on the clock. Now, you could go a lot of places here. I would have gone interior defensive line because you have Josh Allen, you have Trayvon Walker. But it's like, how are you sure you're going to get that Josh Allen deal done? And you could always use more edge help. And if you don't go edge, it's going to be corner. So you could go, if these are the corners available to me, let me pull them up here, guys. I am taking Cooper DeJean over all these guys, not a doubt. And I may take Kool-Aid over Nate just because of the size. Like, I know Kool-Aid, let's see. I mean, 195 is a lot different than 185. And he measured in at like 173, I believe. So that's a whole 20-pound difference. I think Cooper DeJean is a good fit for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Pair him up with Tyson Campbell. Cincinnati Bengals on the clock here at number 18. And you could go defensive interior. You could go tackle. J.C. Latham is a better fit to me in terms of like, I just don't think if Olu's on the board here, you can take him because of the whole debacle with like Orlando Brown Jr. only wanting to play left tackle. And the thing with Olu is, do you think he can make the move to right tackle? Like, I don't know if he can. Like, I'm not saying he's incapable of it, but I don't know. Like, I just don't, because of like the fact that he's just such a good pass blocker. He's not that great of a run blocker, and I know they pass a lot, but it's just like he just, to me, is like one of those guys that like he's going to play left tackle. Like, that's what he's going to play. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them J.C. Latham, beef up the side of the lines. And the reason I'm going to do that is because Trent Brown is only there on a 1-year contract, and you're going to need a backup plan. And I don't know, you could go receiver here, but I guess my thing is you can go and get a receiver at 49, and there'll be a good guy there. At number 19, we have the Los Angeles Rams. So, I think cornerback is kind of the biggest need. And obviously, well, I don't want to say cornerback's the biggest need. Cornerback, in my opinion, is where you lack the depth. I think the D-line is also a need. And with Jared Verse sitting here, I just think that is a very easy pick. At number 19, or 20, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, let's see. We have Fautanu. He can play really any position on the interior. And I guess my thing is he's probably one of the better linemen on the board here next to Olu. And I would say you probably need a wide receiver as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them Brian Thomas Jr. to pair with George Pickens. At number 21, we have the, Fautanu to the Dolphins makes so much sense because of their issues on the interior. They signed Aaron Brewer, but they lost Robert Hunt. And this is a guy who can play. He played tackle in college. He can slide out to tackle. Teron Armstead is injured quite often. And, Austin Jackson, he's a decent tackle. He got his extension, but you don't know how long Armstead is going to be there for. And your interior line was getting tore up last year. So we are going to go Troy Fautanu to the Dolphins. At number 22, we have the Philadelphia Eagles on the clock here. Guys, what are we doing? I like the idea of putting Amarius Mims to sit behind Lane Johnson. We went tackle yesterday. I could also see them adding like D-line players, but the only guy kind of here is Aleatu Latu, so I am going to go Amarius Mims. Now, we have 23 with the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, so at first, we added Byron Murphy. Now, I am going to take a swing here, and I think I'm going to add... I think I'm going to give him Bo Nix, guys. I mean, if they're not able to move up and get that fourth quarterback off the board, they can probably get a guy in this range that they know will be their guy. Because they, in my opinion, you have to have done research on a QB5 and have a QB5 in this draft, because if you don't, you cannot bank on getting that fourth quarterback, especially with the Giants right there at 6. You have to have a backup plan because you have to have someone that's going to succeed Sam Darnold. So number 24, we have the Dallas Cowboys. Give me Olu Fashanu. He's going to slide in right for Tyron Smith. 25, you have the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to take Nate Wiggins, solidify that secondary. Now we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 26. Liatu Atu, run in the card, sprint in the card, Usain Bolt the card to the podium if Latu is on the board here at 26. So now we have 27 with the Cardinals. They took Malik Neighbors. So now you can really kind of add what you want. I think adding a guy like a Graham Barton to kind of solidify the interior line would do a great service. You have Jonah Williams, you have Paris Johnson Jr. Graham Barton can play tackle in a pinch. He can play any of the interior positions. Great pick for the Arizona Cardinals. Now we're sitting here at 28 with the Buffalo Bills. Are we going tackle? I don't know if we need tackle right now. Wide receiver is definitely a need. You could have one of the top safeties on the board with Tyler Newman. I just think Adonai Mitchell would be such a good addition for them. And any other, I do like Xavier Worthy there, though. Like, I really think Worthy being such a speedster would be dominant with Josh Allen's arm. So I'm going to put Xavier Worthy to the Buffalo Bills. Now we're sitting here with the Detroit Lions, and they need cornerback bad. They have released Cam Sutton. Give me Kool-Aid McKinstry. At number 30, we have the Baltimore Ravens. Tyler Guyton's on the clock. Or he is not on the clock. He's available. But you kind of need a tackle now. You need any O-line now. Frazier is not going to be the guy because you have Linderbaum. You can play him at guard, but he really is more of a true center prospect. I know I have him drafted as guard a couple times, but usually those thoughts are that he'll slide into center eventually, like a Frank Ragnow situation. So I think you have to go O-line here, and I think it's Jordan Morgan every time. 31, give me Tyler Guyton. I think that's an easy pick. Now at pick 32, Adonai Mitchell to the Kansas City Chiefs. So this has been Mock Draft Madness Day 20. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your favorite and least favorite picks from this mock draft in the comments. Leave a like. If you don't know ball, want to know ball, be sure to subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow. Hope your March Madness bracket has not busted. One of mine is pretty shit. The other one's pretty good. I got Kansas winning. I got Houston winning my other one. The Houston one kind of sucks. Also in the comments, let me know what team you have winning your March Madness bracket. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night or early morning whenever you're watching this. Thank you.